McHale who gets a catch. He's got patrol.
Now, here are your starting lineups for the Hill Murray Pioneers. Number 4, Jack Murray. Number 7, J.P. Yoakum. Number 9, Vince Hurley. Number 10, Adam Bennett. Number 12, Stephen Polsky. Number 16, Michael Dolan. Number 18, Jack Schwartz. Number 19, Ben Bonnen. Number 20, Joe Schonecker. Number 24, Kenny Larmy. And number 30, Owen Denzio. Coaches are Chris Hooper, Cassie Coleman, Paul Hensel, Benson Lone, Brett Zimmer, Nick Hoff, and your head coach is Jeff Zucker. Now, here's the starting lineup for your Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Number 0, Josh Bates. Number 3, Anthony Palmer. Number 5, Nolan Pratumwan. Number 7, Gavin Goralnik. Number 8, Trigby Myers. Number 10, Helio De La Torre. Number 11, Abdudir Awad. Number 14, Elliot James. Number 15, Dylan Lallier. Number 17, Matt Mulcahy. And number 20, Corey Polarski. The coaches are Cooper Johnson, Andrew Jarmillo, Danny Jaderholm, Ahmed Kari, and Elliot Kessner. Head coach, Dominic Isaac.
You've seen the starting lineups? With that, let's get the Section 4A Boys Soccer Championship underway. I'm Mike Beaton, all by myself, talking to myself, and we'd like to welcome all of you watching this on Suburban Community Channels. Mahtomedi Zephyrs, Metro East Conference champions, 15-2-0. They have not reached the state tournament since 2014. The last 2 years, they were knocked out by Como Park in section play. The semifinal round a year ago, and the 4A final in 2016. The Hill Murray Pioneers coming in as the upset card, 9-9-1. They have not been to a state tournament since 2013. They haven't been to a section final since 2013. Their first year in Class A. So one of these two will end a drought, not a long one, but Mahtomedi, a soccer power, dealing with a couple of upsets in the last 2 years. They're hoping to avoid another one against the Hill Murray Pioneers. In the regular season meeting between these two, Mahtomedi defeated Hill Murray on October 2nd. Both goals scored by Gavin Goralnik. Joe Schonecker scored for Hill Murray. Mahtomedi has not lost to Hill Murray since October 2nd of 2012. Since then, 3 wins and 3 draws. So a one-sided rivalry between these Metro East teams. Hill Murray will wear the white kits, Mahtomedi will wear the navy. The winner goes on to the state tournament. When and where they will play, That will be announced on Saturday. We're underway. Hill Murray got a double bye in the 4A section bracket. Didn't have to play until the quarterfinals. And they beat St. Paul Harding handily 5-0. Harding won the section last year, got to state, but was throttled by St. Thomas Academy. And then the Zephyrs knocked off another St. Paul City school, Washington, 2-1. So, unlike previous years, the St. Paul City Conference giving the Zephyrs a little less trouble this year. Hill Murray, they beat Concordia Academy 2-0 in the second round, knocked off the 2-seed Hmong Academy 2-1 in the quarterfinals, and then beat the 3-seed St. Croix Prep 3-0 in the semifinals. Quite the turnaround for a school that collected just one win in their first 6 games. Mahtomedi resetting. Looking for an upfield pass to number 10, Elio De La Torre. And a throw in for the Zephyrs as it was deflected off a Hill Murray player. De La Torre. Ball's poked away. And retrieving it is Elliot James, 14. And Hill Murray bats that one away. A much-needed respite in terms of weather. We had some nasty conditions over the last couple of days. On Tuesday, I was at Eastridge for a gusty, chilly 4-2A girls section final, won by the Stillwater Ponies. Last night, a chilly night for football. And what has been a season of craziness, no matter the class. Tonight, mid-60s for a high. We're not expecting temperatures to dip into the 30s, at least compared to the last couple of nights. And everyone basking in this glorious weather. And a good night for soccer. And much like the 4-2A section final, we have the same 2 schools playing against each other at separate sites. Hill Murray was the 1 seed in 4A girls soccer. Mahtomedi was the 2. That bracket went chalk. So Hill Murray is playing Mahtomedi for the right to go to the girls state tournament. And the Hill Murray Pioneers, the 7 seed in the 4A boys bracket, hoping to do the same. Again, when and where will be announced Saturday. There are 4 sites for the quarterfinals. Chisago Lake, St. Cloud State, Farmington, and Prior Lake. First corner of the game, Elliot James will put it in play. Nice header. Well-placed kick. That header went off the crossbar. Good opportunity for, I believe, number 8. And I'm going to attempt to pronounce this. Trygiv Myers.
Oh, Trigvi.
Tree.
Trigvi.
Trigvi. It helps to have the public address announcer next to you. Trigvi Myers. Players to watch for the Zephyrs. Helio De La Torre, 16 goals, 6 assists. He has 2 hat tricks on the year. Hill Murray going to throw it in. De La Torre for the Zephyrs. He scored all 3 goals in a 3-1 win over St. Croix Prep. The other hat trick came in a 5-0 win over South St. Paul. And Goralnik, who we spoke of in the Open, 13 goals, 9 assists. Picked up a hat trick in the regular season victory over Harding and a pair of 2-goal games against Hill Murray and White Bear Lake. 5 clean sheets for the Zephyrs, just 1 shutout loss. For the Pioneers, 6 clean sheets, 3 shutout losses. Ben Bonin will be the guy to watch, the only player in double digits for goals. Try saying that 5 times fast. Mahtomedi controlling possession. Hill Murray has yet to set up an attack. 5 minutes in. And there's Abdi Awad making a play for it. Abdelkadir is his full name, but he prefers Abdi, so that's what we'll go with. Adir. Mahtomedi making another run. Pretty crisp passing so far. And even though we're an MEA weekend, Class A soccer gets the highlight. And part of that has to do with the way the brackets are set up. The Class A field a little larger than your 2A brackets, so they need a couple of extra playing games or playing rounds. The semifinals were 2 nights ago, and the finals are tonight. So even though school's not in session, as we have a foul on the Pioneers, giving a free kick to Nolan Pradewan, number 5. Even though school's not in session, here we are on a Thursday night, a beautiful Thursday night. Pradewan got ahead of everybody. Dylan Lallier was in position, but the pass just a little ahead of him. But Mahtomedi taking the initiative early. A pretty impressive resume for the Zephyrs. If the Zephyrs get through, they would likely earn one of the 5 seeds that are given out at the state tournament. If Hill Murray wins, they would be unseeded. Here come the Zephyrs once more. Tough angle, and I believe Ondenzeo of the Pioneers got in there for the deflection. He concedes a corner to the Zephyrs, but gets the stop for now. And nice play by him with De La Torre in position for a striking chance. But here comes a corner. Elliot James puts it in play. It's a deep one. And the header bounces away harmlessly. Behind the net. Hill Murray working on building up their ranks. They've struggled quite a bit over the last few years. As we noted, they had not been to a section final since their last trip to state in 2013. They finished second that year at Tacoma Park. De La Torre with the takeaway. Feeds it to Awad. Centering pass looking for De La Torre. It's deflected. And Elliot James retreats. Hill Murray gets the clearance. It's similar to Stillwater in the game I called on Tuesday. Hill Murray unable to sustain any lengthy possessions. They get a couple of touches, and somebody from Mahtomedi is there to reassume control. But the Pioneers working on building up their ranks. 3 years ago, they just had 50 students in their soccer program. That number has grown to over 90. And each season they do a get-together at the Hidden Pines Ranch to establish their core values, set the tone for the season. Sean Bromlin, the principal at Eagle Point School, where Jeff Zupfer, the head coach, is a 5th grade teacher. Bromlin, the keynote, and talked about the importance of sacrifice and dedication to everyone on the Hail Murray team. Then they also partner up with the girls program for the annual food drive. And Zupfer told me it raises hundreds of dollars each year. And it also netted 20 boxes of food for families at Webster Elementary School in Maplewood. And they got an assist from the White Bear Lake soccer program, who put in donations from the Suburban East. It's an extended community over here. We have a foul on the Zephyrs. And no matter the sport, everybody helps everybody. Because everybody knows everybody, if you know what I mean. Maplewood and White Bear Lake neighboring each other. Pioneers with a free kick. That was number 7, J.P. Yoakum, who put it in play. Hail Murray, the private school in Maplewood. They were a regular part of our coverage in years past, and still a force to be reckoned with in many sports. Adam Bennett got a touch there, but sailed it high. So nothing to worry about for Josh Bates, the junior keeper for the Zephyrs. Josh Bates with a save percentage this year of around 820. Zephyrs looking for another takeaway. Corey Pilarski showing his speed. Couldn't quite control it. But another chance for the Zephyrs to take control. Here's James. Looking for an outlet. He finds Awad. Awad tried to pass it, I believe, to Pilarski. And the Pioneers will bat it away. Sending it wide, as they might say in soccer. Keep the opposing team from any breakaway chances. Give your defense a chance to set up. And our first substitution of the game. Corey Pilarski will go out. Ian Fosdick, number 13, goes in. And that ball headed to the bleachers. Maybe it went past the bleachers. It'll end up in the parking lot. When you send it far enough, it would go past the bleachers into the parking lot and bounce all the way to one of the churches that neighbors the Mahtomedi High School campus. In fact, there are 2 churches in this area. Centering pass. Fosdick was waiting. But Hail Murray bats it away. Deep ball, and that will bounce out of bounds. No serious threat yet, but a long way to go. Mahtomedi, by far the favored team if you go by seeding and records. But there's nothing like an upset-minded opponent. Here's a takeaway, but a foul was called against the Zephyrs. The head official says De La Torre was a little too combative in his challenge there. So the Pioneers can exhale for the moment. Michael Dolan with a free kick, and he sends that by Carlos. I know Carlos is a big soccer fan and a great camera guy, but he is not eligible. Not the play you want, per se, on a free kick on your end of the pitch. That'll give Mahtomedi more time in the attacking third. A bit of a misplay there from Helio De La Torre and Goralnik. 7 and 10, the 2 guys to watch for the Zephyrs. Fosdick looking. Hail Murray's shell holding up so far. The Zephyrs have held the ball for most of the first half in scoring position. And then a punch out by Hail Mary's keeper, Denzeo. And a substitution.
Number 4,
Ethan Peterson going in for a wide. Another strong defensive move by the Pioneers. That time it was Michael Dolan, number 16, who got the header to clear it out. Hail Murray looking to set up a counter here, but the passing a little off the mark. J.P. Yoakum tried to feed it to Vince Hurley, and the pass was too soft. It was intercepted by a Mahtomedi defender. But Hail Murray will get it back, as Peterson had nowhere to go. Watching coverage of the 4A section boys soccer final on SCC. The first of a few section games we'll bring you here on Suburban Community Channels. And for updates on our fall playoff coverage schedule, just go to scctv.org. Look up our truck schedule. That'll tell you all you need to know. Here's James McLaughlin for the free kick. Looking to find somebody in the back end of that scrum, and he found nobody. And speaking of fall playoff coverage, there's a chance we could have a few teams to keep an eye on. Tartan and Mahtomedi football getting the 1 and 2 seeds. Mahtomedi with another takeaway. Ian Fosdick playing aggressively. Now, Mahtomedi controlling almost every facet of the game. It hasn't resulted in a scoring chance yet, but you have to imagine persistence will pay off if Mahtomedi continues to set the tone. But Mahtomedi and Tartan with first-round buys in Section 4-5A. And here's Fosdick. We've seen this a couple of times. They'll get a takeaway on the near end from where we're standing. And they'll get another corner here. So another opportunity for Elliot James, who will put his third corner in play. Some teams thrive on set pieces. And this time, Mahtomedi opts to play short. A squibbler from Trygve Myers. Pioneers looking for a counter, and instead of collision, that's going to be a foul. Ben Bonin sensed an opportunity, but he collides with Matt Mulcahy. And the Zephyrs will take over via the free kick. And we'll have a do-over. Pradwan puts it in play, and it'll be a throw-in near the corner area. Deep ball, a little too deep. Mahtomedi trying to keep it in play. They do. But Denzeo plays it off the one hop. About 20 minutes complete in the first half. Still no score in a game that has been controlled by Mahtomedi from the opening kick. However, Hail Murray's defense holding serve That shell tough to break. Mahtomedi, they've set up around the fringe, but they've had trouble penetrating Hill Murray's interior to get that quality scoring chance to really make Denzeo play the guessing game. And that first game wasn't a runaway win for the Zephyrs. It was only a 2-1 score. Hill Murray sends that out of bounds. Hill Murray getting a new soccer field, a new football field, new facilities a couple of years ago. Big deal for that school, the private school based in Maplewood. Hill Murray, of course, a hockey power in the state of Minnesota. Goal kick coming up. Denzeo's been busy, but so far, he has yet to break.
Now in for the Pioneers, number 15,
and he awaits a substitution. Anthony Banderas Infante, number 15. Subs in for Adam Bennett. Mahtomedi. It seems to be a recurring theme. And a rare goal kick coming up for the Zephyrs. Well, that'll give Josh Bates something to do. It's been a pretty ho-hum first half for him, watching his position players do most of the work. But as a keeper, you want it that way. You want your job to be as boring as possible. But he'll have to be attentive here. Hill Murray trying to set up an attacking chance, and they're able to keep the ball in play. Banderas catching up to it, and now they'll get the first corner. So Josh Bates will have to be on alert, as will the rest of these Zephyrs. Here comes the first corner for the Pioneers. And these are the types of plays the Pioneers need to capitalize on. Nice header by Elliot James. And then whiffing the potential rebound was Stephen Polsky. He had a clear look and whiffed the kick. Let it go past him. Hill Murray will get the throw in. But you can't help but feel the Pioneers wasted away a potential opportunity to put Mahtomedi on their heels. Kenny Larmy putting it in play now on the throw-in. And Mahtomedi looking to get on the move. Michael Dolan pulls a little shake and bake. Vince Hurley and Ethan Peterson bump into each other. And it will be Hill Murray ball. Another corner coming up, this time from number 24, Kenny Larmy. That's a throw-in, I should say. Well played by the Zephyrs. And we'll try again. That throw-in Almost gets by. It does get by Denzeo, and the Pioneers take advantage. The underdog is up 1-0. Denzeo misplayed the hop, and the Pioneers cash in. In the 26th minute, the Pioneers get on the board first. And when you're the underdog, that is huge.
Now in for the Zephyrs, number 20, Corey Polarski.
Who scored that goal? Got a confirmation it was Banderas who got credit for the goal. Anthony Banderas. It helps to have fans that are right in front of you.
Number 15, Anthony Banderas.
The goal comes at the 26th minute. Well, they say as a broadcaster and as a journalist, utilize all your resources available. And with the fans right in front of us here at the press box, named for Al Sandsgaard at George Smith Field. Doesn't hurt to ask. Right, Aaron? So we'll see how Mahtomedi responds. They're not used to playing from behind often. Just 2 losses all year, no draws. But as we've noted, the first meeting was 2-1, so it was not a runaway. And the Pioneers, if they've turned the corner, as their playoff run seems to indicate, they can be just as fierce as one of those ranked teams. Long way to go, though, so if you're Jeff Zupfer, you are not going to take this game lackadaisically yet, or at all, because the Zephyrs, we saw how much they controlled possession earlier in this half, and they were looking to do just that, but the pass from Fosdick to Gavin Goralnik was off the mark. But we've gotten a taste of how potent they can be. And you may have seen that in the semifinal round when Mahtomedi defeated Washington on Tuesday. Pioneers with another takeover. Ben Bonin with the takeaway. And that's a foul called on the Zephyrs. They will get a free kick, the Pioneers will, in striking range. Dylan Lallier and Anthony Banderas got tangled up. Another golden opportunity for the Pioneers. The official signals to stop the clock to set up the wall here. Here's the kick. Over the net. And a flustered J.P. Yoakum, the freshman. One of 3 freshmen on the roster. Mahtomedi trying to claw the way back now. There's a long way to go. We still have another half to play and plenty of time left in the first half. But despite the strength of the Zephyrs, their 15-2-0 mark, winning the Metro East, being the lone undefeated team, if I recall, just 5 clean sheets, so not the most defensively sound program in Class A. Of course, there's more to it than that. But they've had some moments where they've conceded goals. And that can be troubling. But that two-man tandem of Goralnik and De La Torre can get them right back in this, and who knows, someone else could play the hero. Ten minutes left in the first half. Hill Murray leading Mahtomedi 1-0 in the Section 4A boys soccer final on SCC. Winner moves on to the state tournament. Loser goes home. Physical box out there by Ben Bonin. Elliot James wanted a call. And Hill Murray was calling for a handball. They got it. Elliot James pleading his case. But another free kick for the Pioneers. And another chance for J.P. Yoakum. Had a well-placed kick the last time he got a free kick. Just went over the net. Let's see if he can get it on point this time. It's a low one. Josh Bates bobbled it initially, but falls on it. Yoakum opts for the line drive. And Bates read it all the way. And even though Mahtomedi has controlled possession by my unofficial tally, that goal scored by Banderas a few minutes ago seems to have ignited a level of confidence in the Pioneers, a high level of confidence. They're being a little more aggressive, getting some synchronicity, better passing. Kenny Larmy setting up for the throw-in. Into traffic. Now it's the Zephyrs looking for a counter. And they'll hang on to it, although Corey Pilarski couldn't contort his body around his defender well enough. Pioneers on the move again. Banderas already has one goal. And Yoakum keeping Bates honest. In spite of all the attributes for Mahtomedi, it's been Hill Murray with the quality chances. I haven't seen too much work out of Owen Denzeo, which if you're Hill Murray is a good thing. Jack Murray. With the goal kick, and I have to imagine he's had his share of one-liners and puns with his surname sharing part of the name of the school he attends. I'm sure that's the case for every student whose name is Murray or Hill. But a lot to cheer for if you're the Pioneers. Going on the road, JP Yoakum awaits another corner kick. He's been on target on the last 2 free kicks. Let's see what he does on this set piece off the corner. And it's batted away, I believe, by Matt Mulcahy. And Mahtomedi, they're okay if that bounces out of play. So we'll see Larmy's throwing skills once more. It was a throw-in that was misplayed by Bates that led to the goal from Banderas. Pioneers taking over. I should say this effort's taking over. But you see the Pioneers playing with a little more gusto. That goal really seemed to awaken their senses.
Now in for the Pioneers, number 14, Robert Witzani.
Robert Witzani will make an appearance. Mahtomedi passing upfield. Pilarski's got it, but not for long. Once more, Mahtomedi unable to penetrate the middle. Hill-Murray doing a good job sealing off the center lane, keeping Mahtomedi on the edges. And that's been the difference. Mahtomedi, they've had plenty of attacking chances, but they can't get that pass into the middle. Gavin Goralnik was looking to do just that, but he was boxed out, and Hill-Murray gets another goal kick with a few minutes left in the first half. Winner moves on to state. Mahtomedi looking to make it their first trip in 4 years. Hill-Murray seeking to end a 5-year drought. Last time they were in state was their first year in Class A. Nice move there by Trygve Myers. Ben Bonin unable to put on the brakes. Mahtomedi, it's a foot race, and the ball will sail out of bounds. It was deflected at the last minute by Denzeo, and that deflection saves a goal for the moment. Corey Pilarski was right there. And it was last touched by Pilarski. Owen Denzeo stepping up when the Pioneers needed it. So a big play on offense and a big play on defense. Encouraging signs for the upset-minded Hill-Murray Pioneers, based in Maplewood. Ethan Peterson on the takeaway. And that's going to be offside. Pilarski not lacking in hustle. That kid has fast acceleration. Fast acceleration and a hairline that would put mine to tears. Although you could say that for most people, most high schoolers especially. But hey, some bald men went on to be captain of the Enterprise. Just over a minute left in the first half. A great first half if you're the Pioneers. Banderas scoring on a goal.
1 minute
And a play by Owen Denzeo they'll have plenty of confidence entering the second half, but this Mahtomedi team, they've got the speed, they've got the athletes, they've got the talent. Larmy will throw it in. My point is, don't sleep on either of these teams. Hill Murray, obviously, they deserve to be here, knocking off a couple of high seeds. There's a high lob that Bates will scoop up from Larmy, and we'll see if the Zephyrs have time to set up one more attack with 18 seconds. They tried to do just that. The ball goes out of bounds. Zephyrs are going to run out of time here. So they'll have to regroup and figure out what to do with a 1-0 deficit. The 7-seed Hill Murray Pioneers get on the board thanks to a goal from Anthony Banderas Infante, the freshman, all three freshmen, making some big plays for the Pioneers. And for the Zephyrs, we'll see how they adapt to playing from behind, a situation rarely encountered this season. We'll take a break and return with the second half. You're watching the Section 4A Boys Soccer Championship on SCC Sports. And we're back at George Smith Field on the campus of Mahtomedi. Mike Beaton by myself, talking to myself. If you're Mahtomedi, it's do or die, at least according to the scoreboard operator, and I imagine the Zephyrs on the field feel the same way. And that's because they trail the 7-seed Hill Murray Pioneers 1-0 on a goal scored from Anthony Banderas Infante in the 15th minute, or 26th minute, on a throw-in by Larmy that was misplayed by Josh Bates. Couldn't get a handle on it, and Banderas cashed in. The winner moves on to the state tournament. Both schools haven't been there in a while. Zephyrs last got there in 2014, the Pioneers in 2013. And we'll remind you, if you're watching this on SCC's television or YouTube channels, that following the conclusion of this match, we will show you the award presentation and have a quick chat with the winning side. Which side will it be? We'll find out. But it won't be my side because I'm not eligible. Hill Murray with 3 freshmen in their ranks, and all 3 have done quite well. Banderas scoring the lone goal so far. Denzeo making a couple of fine plays. And J.P. Yoakum had a couple of free kicks that were on target, one just over the net and one right to Bates. But you have to feel pretty confident if you're the Pioneers, withstanding an early Mahtomedi attack and then getting a few chances to go their way. And we'll have a foul on the Pioneers. But this Mahtomedi team, capable of scoring. They've got 2 talented players, Villatore and Goralnik. And in spite of the fact that both schools are at separate sites, we have a pretty good crowd here on the campus east of White Bear Lake. And play was stopped because we have bloody nose on the part of Michael Dolan, it looks like. And anytime that happens, play is stopped automatically for safety reasons. They get a towel over it, Dolan making sure no blood appears on the jersey. And that's going to send in Adam Baya, number 13. So Dolan will head to the bench. Hopefully his injury will heal and we'll continue. We'll have a do-over. It's the rare ball drop Kind of like a face-off in hockey. Larmy sends a deep ball, a little too deep. Kenny Larmy, the junior. If you followed us in the first half, we discussed the rising ranks of the Pioneers. It didn't show in the record, although they did win their final 2 regular season games and knocking off the 2 and 3 seed. They didn't play either in the regular season. Sometimes all you need is a hot streak, and we've seen that across the sports spectrum. Baseball and softball come to mind. Henry Sibley a couple of years ago winning the 3A state championship. Stillwater softball winning the 4A state championship despite not so hot records. And with single elimination playoffs, as is the case in just about every sport at the high school league, that type of magic can surround itself on any team if they push hard enough. Goal kick for the Pioneers. If you're Jeff Zupfer, obviously you want to hang on to this 1-0 lead. The biggest difference in the first half was the play in the middle. We noted Mahtomedi with a litany of chances in the attacking third, but they could not get set up in the middle. Hill Murray's defense keeping them away from the prime lane. And then the Pioneers capitalizing on a mistake. And that's what makes the sport so unpredictable. And De La Torre with the equalizer. Almost on cue. You never know when a mistake can happen. Giving you a chance to cash in. De La Torre does just that. And the Zephyrs tie it up in the 44th minute.
Scoring for your Mahtomedi Zephyrs, number 10, Helio De La Torre.
Helio De La Torre with his 17th goal of the season. And if you're Mahtomedi, you have to be feeling a whole lot better about yourself. Now the Pioneers. They were eyeing a potential counter. And they'll hang on to it. Plenty of time, of course, for either side to get back in front. And the Pioneers looking to do just that. The centering pass. Banderas the intended target. Mahtomedi able to deflect it away. Larmy trying to bring it back upfield. Unable to do so. And Hill Murray sends a deep ball that Bates will scoop up. Denzeo sends away potential Mahtomedi attack. And the action really heating up now. Play stopped momentarily for substitution. Michael Dolan, all healed up. He'll go in place of Adam Bennett.
Now in for the Pioneers, number 16, Michael Dolan.
We'll see what this does. As we noted in the first half, depending on who wins, if Mahtomedi wins, they would be seeded. If Hill Murray wins, they would be unseeded in Class A, based on projections. So depending on who wins, this game holding significant influence for the pairings. Hill Murray's two freshmen trying to hook up, but Mahtomedi with just a little more speed there. Although Hill Murray will hang on to it via the throw-in. On the girls' end of this matchup, Hill Murray and Mahtomedi in a scoreless draw at halftime. And some other finals from earlier today. Holy Angels making their way to state, knocking off Visitation 2-1. Mankato West defeating Fairmont. Rochester Lourdes, the girls a regular member or participant in the state tournament. They'll return after beating Byron 3-0. Blake defeats Citino Grace in boys play. And we've got some big-time contact that will result in a foul on Mahtomedi. And a disgusted Dylan Lallier. He saw it differently. Ethan Peterson, I should say Jack Murray, puts it in play, and while a free kick or a foul at that spot doesn't necessarily hurt you, it certainly can be annoying. Now, free kicking that spot doesn't hurt you, but you don't want to do anything that could mess with your psyche, interfere with your mission. You got to watch out and avoid those turnovers. Even though we don't keep track of that stat in soccer, you never know. Here come the Zephyrs. Larmy backs off. Nothing called. Dylan Lallier perhaps saw it differently. Larmy with the check that did just enough to stop Lallier from a potential breakaway opportunity. Galarnik looking for one. Fires, deflected by number 12, Stephen Polsky. So a corner kick coming up. And putting it in play will be Elliot James. Mahtomedi has momentum on their side. They like to take a big swing in that direction, and they could do it on this corner. It's a squibbler. Sent away by the Pioneers. Now it'll be Hill Murray ball. Zephyrs on the move again, and Hill Murray wisely clears it away. Jack Murray sends it out of bounds, conceding the throw-in, but giving his defense a chance to set up. If you'd like to follow all the happenings of Suburban Community Channels. You can follow us on social media. On Facebook, we are Suburban Community Channels. And on Twitter, we have SCC TV and SCC TV Sports. So we post links to all the programming produced in the studios and in the field, all part of SCC. Including a few programs that play in the Twin Cities area, another play at the net, and once again, Hill Murray, now that Dolan's back, that interior defense holding serve again. We've got the makings of a thrilling finish, perhaps, although we still have 27 minutes to go. Pioneers got on the board first. Zephyrs got the equalizer. Banderas looking to put Hill Murray up in front again. The pass gets away from number 20, Joe Schonecker. It will stay with the Pioneers, though. Larmy will have a chance to throw it in and perhaps set up one of his teammates. State tournament berth at stake. Larmy, deep throw-in. Punch out by Bates. Larmy, in theory, could have scored off that. There's a high lob. Bates will catch up to it. There was a Hail Mary player in the area, but I think he was offside, or he would have been offside. Tough to tell from that vantage point, but the Zephyrs escape a jam, and that's the important thing. Larmy trying to keep it in play. Can't quite do so. It was close, though. Not much lateral movement. Here comes Ben Bonin, the leading scorer for the Pioneers. Hasn't had too many touches yet. Gets that one to carry him off Pertumwan. Larmy, who's had a busy night throwing the ball, will do so again. The collision, and that will bounce right over to Bates. Again, in a game like this, you almost have to wait for a mistake. Both sides aren't giving much on set plays. And another throw-in coming up. Kenny Larmy. Not tired yet. Ball bounces off Goralnik. Corner kick coming for the Pioneers. Larmy's throw-ins remind me of Spencer Scott for the Stillwater boys soccer team. He can send them in deep. So J.P. Yoakum, the freshman, with another set piece. This one low and out. Chance for the Zephyrs. That pass upfield gets by Ian Fosdick, and Owen Denzeo simply waiting for the ball to roll to him. How much you had to worry about there. Banderas to Bonin. Bonin upset with himself. miscommunication on his part. He thought there was somebody up the middle he could feed the ball to, but there was nobody. And a foul is called on the Zephyrs. That will award another free kick to the Pioneers. And it will be J.P. Yoakum to put it in play. It seems a little outside his range to score directly, but we'll see what happens on this set piece. He's got some leg. And he gets a corner out of it, so he'll trot back to the far corner as the ball bounced off another Zephyr and out of play. No shortage of set pieces for the Pioneers. We're hoping to rewrite the ending to the regular season meeting with Mahtomedi and make their way to state. They got on the board first, but a goal from De La Torre tied it up. Play at the net. Mahtomedi sends that one away. And here's the speedy Goralnik, trying to stay ahead of his defenders. Hooks up with James, who is onside. James with a tough angle, tried to set it up to Goralnik. Great centering pass, and the ball goes out of bounds. Fosdick had Goralnik right where he wanted him in the perfect spot, and Goralnik just couldn't get the angle on it. A big scare for the Pioneers, but no harm done. Throw in, or I should say foul on the Zephyrs, as play was contained to the middle of the field for some time. Didier Awada waiting to sub in, but first a free kick. There are a few reasons why this sport is unpredictable and can be fun to watch. Larmy will prepare for another throw-in. I think he's at about 50 of those. It certainly seems that way. 20 minutes left in the second half. Will one of these teams break the tie? We'll find out. Won't happen there. Josh Bates stops another threat. Like we said, this game will come down to mistakes and who can cash in. Hill Murray opting for a reset. Denzeo sends it back to midfield. It was a mistake that allowed Hill Murray to get on the board, and a mistake that allowed Mahtomedi to take over with an on-man advantage. Helio De La Torre making the most of it in the 44th minute. But in the playoffs, there are no draws. That ball bounces out of play. Dylan Lallier was the closest one to it. Mahtomedi waiting to get a couple of subs in. And here they come. Dadir Awad and Corey Pilarski. We saw Pilarski's speed
Now in for the Zephyrs, number 11.
in the
Dadir
first
Awad,
half. Used it
and
to great
number 20,
effect.
Corey Pilarski.
So keep an eye on him. Pilarski may have the agility and the acceleration to give Mahtomedi a fighting chance to get ahead in regulation or an extra time if needed. We're still a few minutes away from that. Now it's Awad's turn to showcase his throwing skills. Centering pass deflected. James takes a shot from deep. It's a high lob. And goal! The Zephyrs make it 2-1. The high lob wasn't fielded by Denzeo, not properly, and in the 64th minute, the Zephyrs take the lead.
Did they get your sauce? Yes.
Now in for the Zephyrs, number 10, Helio De La Torre, and number 15, Dylan Lallier.
Helio De La Torre returns to the pitch. Our sources, reliable ones, say Ethan Peterson got the goal. So a couple of miscues by the Pioneers result in big scores for the Zephyrs, and Mahtomedi, who trailed 1-0, find themselves up 2-1.
Scoring for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, number 4, Ethan Peterson.
20 minutes apart. The Zephyrs were on their heels in the first half. And as we said, miscues, mistakes. Whoever can cash in on them can make the difference in a game like this. It was Peterson who knocked in the rebound off of Denzeo.
Here's an update on the girls' soccer game. The game is now tied 1-1.
15 minutes, and we'll see if the Pioneers have anything left. We've seen them get a couple of moments downfield. They have plenty of corners and throw-ins on the attacking end earlier this half. Whatever happens, this is a step in the right direction for the Pioneers, reaching their first section final in 5 years. For the Zephyrs, it's a quest of redemption. They were a top 10 team, number 1 seed last year, fell to Como Park in the Section 4A semifinal, and then Como Park was knocked out by Harding in a year of upsets in that grouping. Foul on Hill Murray. And for the Pioneers, again, a step in the right direction. Not many folks thought they would get this far. Certainly when you're a 7 seed, but in a sport like this, we say one crazy bounce, one weird sequence, something going amiss can make the difference between moving on and going home. In the battle of Metro East teams. On a picture-perfect autumnal evening. In the middle of October. They say there's only one October. Ian Fosdick going back in. Adam Bennett doing the same. Anthony Banderas looking used up, putting in a lot of effort out there. And when you get this far, you're going to give a little extra. He's getting to host that section championship plaque, knowing he'll go to state, all the pomp and circumstance that accompanies it, that's a pretty big prize. Corner kick coming up for the Zephyrs. On the far end. Not a great strike there from Ian Fosdick. Didn't get enough velocity on it. But if you're the Zephyrs, anything that will eat up time, if you spend time on your end of the pitch, it'll keep Hill Murray away from setting up a counter. It's been a hard-fought effort. Usually with the 1 and a 7, no matter the sport, you don't expect a lot. You certainly don't expect the lower-seeded team to be in contention like Hill Murray has. But again, these two teams are familiar with each other, so that can sway the game. And if this result holds, this game will mirror the first meeting, with the Zephyrs eking out another one-goal win. Again, their defense has been spotty at times. Not a lot of clean sheets compared to some other teams, as Hill Murray unable to get the pass in properly. But more importantly for the Zephyrs of Mahtomedi, they've been in front most of the time. Just one shutout loss to Blake. And presumably a school they'll have to keep an eye on in the Class A field. Should they get that far. We still have 11 minutes, just under 11 minutes to play. And we see some of the big names from Mahtomedi going in and out, trying to save them for one more run. Mahtomedi, of course, would love to get the finishing blow here, because a one-goal lead is a dangerous one. James looking for De La Torre, and swooping in for the deflection was J.P. Yoakum. You may have heard earlier on our last update that in the girls' side of this 4A section battle, Hill Murray and Mahtomedi tied at 1. Of course, that's a battle between top 10 teams, and oh boy. Vince Hurley gave Gavin Gorawnik a shove. And it didn't look like he was making any play for the ball. Ball sails out of bounds. We're getting to that point where you're going to see Hill Murray become more aggressive. Maybe take a few more chances.
Now in for the Zephyrs,
we're in the final 10 minutes.
Ian Fosdick.
The final 10 minutes perhaps of their season if they can't get another equalizer here. They absorbed the blows from Mahtomedi, then took advantage of a mishap. And in the second half, we flipped the script, and it was the Zephyrs making the most of golden opportunities. Talented teams, and this game being defined more by who cashes in mistakes than anything else, but that's a part of the game. Awareness. Situational awareness. And so far, that has benefited Mahtomedi. We're just over 8 minutes away from returning to state. As we noted, 4 potential sites. Seedings will be announced in a couple of days. So we don't know when or where Mahtomedi would play. The 4 sites for the quarterfinals: St. Cloud State, Chisago Lakes, Farmington, and Prior Lake. The ultimate goal, of course, is US Bank Stadium. Not only will it be significantly warmer, but it means you've reached the semifinal round. And we have a stoppage in play with 7.5 minutes left. Official checking with one of the line judges, making sure he's okay. On Class A day, Class A finals. And we're going to have ruling issued. Ben Bonin walked off the field. Jeff Zupper getting an explanation.
Now in for the Pioneers, number 15, Anthony Banderas.
And looking at the field, it appears a red card was issued to Ben Bonin. I see him walked off the pitch, and that is indeed the case. I only see 9 position players out in the field for the Pioneers. I didn't see what transpired that led to the red card, but Ben Bonin, his night is done. And the Pioneers will have to play the remainder of the game with 10 men. Worst possible scenario. If you're Hill Murray. Ben Bonin, your top player, ineligible for the remainder of the game. The red card issued in the 73rd minute. Of course, if you're the Zephyrs, you can't ride home free just yet, because a sloppy pass, a silly turnover, and we could go the other way. But Hill Murray, they're going to have to find a way to get another goal, 1 man down. Ben Bonin with the red card. And if they're unable to close out, they'll look back on that moment and a few missed opportunities on corners and throw-ins. And perhaps more importantly, a couple of miscues. A big one on Owen Denzeo, misplaying a high lob, unable to grasp it firmly. That allowed Ethan Peterson to score the go-ahead goal. Here's a deep ball. No problem for Josh Bates. This Zephyrs team, throughout the season, You could say they would bend, but rarely did they break. If an adage is your thing. And while they might not get a vacation compared to some of their classmates on this NBA weekend, if you make your way to state, doesn't matter if you have to put in a little work or not. That extended weekend becomes just a little more festive. And we have 5 minutes to go. Hill Murray playing with 10 men after a red card to Ben Bonin. The Zephyrs looking to make their first state tournament appearance since 2014.
Number 14, Robert Whitney. And for the Zephyrs, number 13, Ian Fosdick.
Ben Bonin. Engaged in thought on the bench, looking pretty somber over there. Pondering about what could have been, what might have been. The red card's certainly not a reason for Hill Murray's defeat if the score holds. But in sports, the psychology of it, in most cases, you are far more scrutinizing with losses than you are with wins. Most schools expect to win, especially two schools of this caliber. And for Mahtomedi, I can imagine they would say something along the lines of, well, we didn't play our best soccer, but we found a way to get it done. That's what a lot of the teams will tell you. In search of that ever-elusive perfect game that never seems to come. But you just have to be good enough. You don't have to be outstanding all the time. You just have to come up with a couple more plays than your opponent. Another clock stoppage with 3:21.
Now in for the Zephyrs, number 10, Helio Di Latorre.
Clock stop for the substitution. Making sure Mahtomedi didn't milk a few seconds that they weren't supposed to. There's Banderas, who scored the lone goal for the Pioneers in this one. And it's looking more and more like this game will end in the same 2-1 result as the first meeting a couple of weeks ago. I haven't seen anything resembling a quality chance on the part of the Pioneers as the ball bounces off the bleachers. The last few minutes, Hill Murray struggling to develop a potential counterplay. And Dominic Isaac looking furious on the Mahtomedi bench. Perhaps some over the throw-in procedure or who was going to put it in. And I imagine emotions are running a little bit because you want to close out, and even though there's only 2 minutes left, you want to make sure they're 2 clean minutes. You don't want to give the Pioneers a whiff of momentum. Denzeo calls off his teammates. Pioneers, if they see any chance, they're going to go for it. And if you're Mahtomedi, you're content to send the ball out of bounds. Make Hill Murray throw it in as much as they can. Keep it away from the middle of the field unless you get a clearance. Helio Di Latorre with his 17th goal of the year. Even this up after Mahtomedi went down 1-0 in the first half. And Ethan Peterson, if this result holds, responsible for the game-winning goal. Denzeo wins that race. But Mahtomedi can sense victory nearing. 1 minute to go.
1 minute remaining in the half.
The Zephyrs. A lot of heartbreak. De La Torre with an encore. There will be no heartbreak tonight. De La Torre with goal number 18. And Mahtomedi can celebrate.
Scoring for your Mahtomedi Zephyrs, number 10.
And that goal
Helio
fitting with tonight's
De La
theme
Torre.
of taking advantage of mistakes. This game defined by that. As we noted, turnovers are not a statistic in this sport, but they were responsible for all the scoring plays tonight. De La Torre's goal academic, in a sense, but if you're Mahtomedi, that's okay, because they can enjoy these final few seconds and make plans for the state tournament next week. Where and when, we don't know, but as I was saying before he scored, the last few years defined by heartbreak, losses to Como Park in section play. Last year, especially brutal, being the number 1 seed and not even getting to the section championship. It's a different tune this year,
8,
and
7,
plenty of cause for
6,
celebration.
5,
The blood,
4,
sweat, and tears, the
3,
heartbreak, the
2,
disappointment,
1.
all of that goes away for now. Mahtomedi, your Section 4A champions, 3-1 the final. Mahtomedi making their first trip to state in 4 years.
Here's your scoring summary in the first
2
half.
goals from Helio De La Torre,
Number
1 from
15,
Ethan
Anthony
Peterson,
Banderas.
and for Hill Murray,
And in the
a fine
second
effort.
half,
They played
number
well enough to
4,
win. They
Ethan
got up
Peterson
1-0
got
in the
a
first
goal,
half
number
and
10,
had their
Helio De La
opportunities,
Torre got 2 goals.
but mistakes and a lapse in discipline undid their efforts tonight, but they have a lot to be proud of. Their first section final in 5 years. They continue to grow their program. As we noted, 90 students this year. They had just over 50 3 years ago. So a lot to be proud of, a lot to be excited about in future seasons for Jeff Zupfer and the Hill Murray Pioneers program. But the night belongs to Mahtomedi, who have been waiting to make a statement.
Please remain in the stands for the award ceremony.
They've waited a long time to prove their might. And this victory in the section final will be a great boost on the resume. Both teams are lining up for the award presentation. Again, we will stay with you for that presentation. And then I will head down to the field to chat with De La Torre and Peterson. Every year you want to go to state, and Mahtomedi had the talent. They had the depth. And just couldn't break through, and sometimes it makes that journey a little sweeter when you overcome those obstacles. Let's go down to the field for the award presentation.
The Hill Murray Pioneers for their second place finish in the Section 4A Boys Soccer Tournament. Medals will be presented by the ADs from Hill Murray and Mahtomedi, Bill Lechner and Aaron Forsythe. For the Pioneers, 00, Brian Atkins. Number 2, Evan Ross. Number 3, Ben Drana. Number 4, Jack Murray. Number 5, Will Given. Number 6, Riley Gannon. Number 7, J.P. Yoakum. Number 9, Vince Curley. Number 10, Adam Bennett. Number 11, Tucker Davies. Number 12, Stephen Polsky. Number 13, Adam Ben. Number 14, Robert Whitney. Number 15, Anthony Banderas. Number 16, Michael Dolan. Number 17, Oliver Hulsey. Number 18, Jack Schwartz. Number 19, Ben Bonnen. Number 20, Joe Schonecker. Number 21, Ryan McFadden. Number 24, Kenny Larmy. Number 30, Owen Denzio. And number 1, Nico Lara. Congratulations. And now, are your 4A section champions. The Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Number 0, Josh Bates. Number 3, Anthony Palmer. Number 4, Ethan Peterson. Number 5, Nolan Pratumwan. Number 6, James McLaughlin. Number 7, Gavin Goralnik. Number 8, Trigby Myers. Number 9, Connor Stoker. And number 10, Helio De La Torre. Number 11, Dadir Awad. Number 12, William Malinowski. Number 13, Ian Fosdick. Number 14, Elliot James. Number 15, Dylan Lallier. Number 16, Nick Dahl. Number 17, Matt Mulcahy. Number 18, Dylan Hare. Number 20, Corey Pilarski. Number 21, Timothy Bruner. Number 23, George Velke. Number 25, Kyle Schmidt. And number 99, Jack Morrison. Now will the captains please come forward to accept your team's section championship trophy. Congratulations to both teams. Thank you for attending tonight's game. Please drive safely as you exit the parking lot. And good luck to the Zephyrs at the state tournament next week.
Joining me are the victorious Elio De La Torre and Ethan Peterson from the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Elio, 2 goals tonight, 18 this season, and You got things going for this team when they were down 1-0. How did you rally back from that deficit?
I told my team we have to fight back. We have to get everything. Never give up. Our goal was to make it a state this year. We never gave up.
How gratifying is it after coming close a couple of years, coming up short in section play?
It was very heartbreaking the last couple of years, losing semifinal, final, and then upcoming senior year. Told myself, you know what? I'm gonna work really hard for this team. I'll do everything to make it to the state tournament.
This game, in part, defined by mistakes, specifically who cashed in on them, and all three of your goals were the result of capitalizing on those miscues. What makes the Zephyrs team so opportunistic?
Team effort. We told each other that we will work together. We will fight our way up, just like always. Never give up. You know what? Everything was just team effort. I think the coach pushed us really hard this year, and I'm very grateful to have him as our coach too.
And Ethan, you took advantage of one of those miscues. When Denzeo misplayed a lob, you were right there and put it in. When you saw that ball coming your way, was that your thought?
It was my thought just to get the goal, just to go to the net. Our coach has been saying all year just how we need to go to the net and just finish those rebounds, and I just happened to put in the effort and get the goal.
Your teammate talks about never giving up. You know, this Mahtomedi team, only 5 clean sheets, so you've had some lapses defensively, but most of the time you're able to fight your way back. Tonight, another example of that. What makes this Mahtomedi team so resilient?
Heart. Everyone just puts in 100% effort all the time. Sometimes we get decent starts, but we eventually come back for the win.
And what does it mean for you to be part of a state tournament team after a few years where you came up short in section play?
It's great. It feels great. We just got to come out there right when state starts.
And with that being next week, how are you going to enjoy this NBA weekend now that you've got that gold medal around you?
You know what? I'll forever cherish this moment forever. It was very, oh gosh, I'm very speechless right now. It's a dream come true.
You don't sound speechless to me.
No, but like, oh my God, I just love this team. I love everything about this team. The boys, they're like my family.
What about you, Ethan?
I definitely agree with them. Yeah, everyone just works hard, and then we'll take this. We still have stuff this weekend we'll probably do, but like we just got to be ready.
You want to say hi to anybody?
Hi, Mom. This is for you.
What's up, Mom and Dad? We made this. We're going to the state tournament, boys. Let's go,
Let's
baby.
go, man.
Yes, they are. They are going to state next week. When and where, we don't know yet, but I'm sure it's going to be fun. Enjoy it. Hopefully it'll be warm like tonight, but one way or another, you're going to be in state, and nobody can take that away.
Oh, boy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was Elio De La Torre and Ethan Peterson of Mahtomedi. That wraps up our coverage here from George Smith Field. For everyone here on SCC, I'm Mike Beaton. Thank you for watching.